Hmm. So let's see. We're back at it live. What episode is this? What episode is this, Grandpa?
For sure is this
I said what episode? This is episode 154.
154.
Yep, there you go.
Oh,
How's it how's it going today? How's it
what's
going today,
that?
Grandpa? I said, how's it going today?
Oh, yeah, it was going pretty good there. I was kind of surprised when I didn't have no electricity. That was about 10 something. So
You ever
when
find out what was going on?
yeah, I evidently the power line might have been down. There
Hmm.
was two or three DETE trucks, and they were cutting limbs and everything. So
Did
maybe
you say did you say decent TE trucks?
I said DTE.
I thought you said decent TE. I'm like, I'm gonna start calling them that.
Oh,
They just decent.
no, I just said DTE truck. Sound like I said decent, eh?
Mm-hmm. What you got to drink today, Grandpa?
Well, I have some of that same stuff that need no recognition.
Mm-hmm.
But
And what you got
life.
to you gotta show you gotta do the show on camera, Grandpa.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait.
Yeah, we live, man.
Nice and cold, and it says it's the king of beers. I don't know. It might be disputed, but the
I
can
just
says king of beers.
okay.
Yes, sir. It
Well,
says
you got that Budweiser.
it said this bud's for you.
Okay.
Brewed and canned in the USA and the Heiser-Busch,
Okay.
a family affair.
I like that. Let me see. I got some and please forgive me for mispronouncing this. Wernes Gruner, Pils legend. Brewing tradition since 1436. Brewed according to German purity law. Beer, 4.9% alcohol. This is a German beer, Grandpa.
Oh man, it's got to be good because they make a good beer.
I mean, they've been making it for over 500 years. So,
Yeah, 1436.
yeah, man, this might be the oldest beer company that we have had on the
Oh,
show.
yeah, I heard that 1436. Man, six. That's 600 years, ain't it?
Yeah, something like that. And for people who don't know, watch the show. I really don't have glasses. I really don't use glasses. But people are like, "Oh, it's so much foam." We learned that you're supposed to make it as foamy as I don't know, as foam as possible, but as much foam as you can
Uh
within
huh.
reason, because it's supposed to make the beer taste better. If you don't get the foam right, it's not
Oh,
going to
oh
taste.
yeah.
That's what we learned. Remember,
No, I didn't. No, I didn't learn that.
we talked about this several times.
Man, I didn't know that it made the beer taste right.
That's what they.
Well, I
That's what they
know
say.
they always say to have a nice head of beer, on your beer.
Yeah,
But I didn't know that
look,
it made it taste different.
I guess it does. Let
Okay.
me see. What you Oh, you pouring it? Okay.
Yeah.
What you pre-rating it, Grandpa?
Well, I can't deny Bud. Bud always gets a 6.
Okay. Well, this German beer. I'm about to.
I like that from the picture. That's a nice head of beer on that glass there.
Yeah, it's got some good head on it. Let me
Yeah.
see. It smells good. It smells like beer, as you like to say. I'm gonna do what you said, Grandpa. I'm gonna give it a pre-rating of 6. Let's see what's about to happen.
Did it make it?
It tastes like beer. I think you would like this. I'm gonna bring you the other cans.
Oh man, I said a German beer. They stay up there. They got to be at a 6 or better.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a type of beer that you would like, Grandpa. This is really
Oh,
something that you would like.
oh,
This is the name.
that's the beer of beers, eh?
Pill's legend. You know what? It does remind me of St. Pauli's Girl.
Oh man, now that's a good beer. St. Pauli's Girl.
I'm gonna have to drive on down there. I think I have to. What do I have to do today? Something I'm supposed to. No, I think I'm supposed to do something this afternoon. I might. Sometime this week, I'll drive by and drop off some beer for you, so you can
Oh,
try. It was a 4-pack. So,
oh, okay.
but let me get you into some news for today, Grandpa.
Yeah, okay.
So there's a rap lyrics bill that passes in California legislation's final vote, right? And it waits the governor's signature. So basically, from let me read the thing. As reported, the law would ban rap lyrics from the courtroom unless prosecutors can prove they're directly relevant to the facts of the case and won't inject racial bias into the proceedings. So basically now, because like for years in certain rap songs and people will talk about crimes they may have seen or have allegedly heard or committed, and now I guess recently they've been using those same lyrics in court. But California is trying to pass this law that will be like, hey, you can't use this as evidence. So I don't know, I'll take it, but I don't. I wonder. I guess when I first read this, I thought to myself, is there such a law for like any other genre of music? Because they admit doing drugs and stuff in country music and rock music, but this is the first time I heard a law that protects rap music. So I mean, it's interesting. What do you think about that, Grandpa?
Well, all I can say if they make a law for rap music, it's something way deeper than uh, what I might think. Underlining whatever it is. You gotta
Well,
have a
yeah, but I
law.
mean, like, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
That's
What
just
you
the name of our that's the name of our show, Grandpa.
Oh yeah, okay. You
Yeah, put
saw
the
it.
banner. I keep forgetting to put the banner up, so when people see it, they know what they're talking about. But yeah, I saw that, and I was just like, man. I mean, it's cool because there's a part of it that says, did I read that part? Let me read it again. It says, cannot that will can have the prosecutors have to prove directly relevant to the facts of the case and won't inject racial bias into the proceedings. So I guess they're trying to de-weaponize, no, not de-weaponize. Yeah, I guess it is. They're trying
Yeah,
to
right.
make these proceedings as fair and as unbiased as possible.
Possible. Okay.
So that's good. That's a step in the right direction, in my opinion. You want to take bias, racial bias, out of things. It should definitely be, unless it's a hate crime, of course. But you gotta definitely take racial bias out of things because these juries, man, you've known longer than me. There's definitely been hung juries against us for so long, and
Oh yeah.
to take another weapon from that is that's a good sign of progress to me. But jokingly, it does mean a lot of mixtape rappers are about to have a field day just making up their lyrics now. The stories are about to be even more astounding.
Oh okay.
All right, well that's the first story. I guess I didn't catch your attention with that one. Um,
Yeah, I kind
there's
of
an
like you were saying about the rappers. Will have a little problem making up their raps.
Well, no, I mean, I'm saying they're gonna have a field day now. Now they can just kind of say anything they want, and as long as there isn't good probable cause or any racial bias, and the prosecutors, they basically made more work for prosecutors. They're saying that unless you can prove this is directly related to the case, you cannot bring up these lyrics in court anymore.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, I mean, and that's kind of hard to prove unless you have hard evidence. I mean, like you could have hard evidence; it's not impossible, but it's making extra steps, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but the other thing that happened was something interesting. Uh, so it's a teen who identifies as cat allowed by school to act feline and not speak. You heard about this?
No, repeat that again now.
So a teenager is identifies as a cat, and the school is allowing them to not speak verbally and act like a feline in class, as long as it doesn't become a distraction to other students. Now, I'm not sure how it cannot be a distraction.
Yeah.
Because if you got somebody who is pretending to be a cat or believes that they're a cat, I don't know too many. I don't know how many too many students are that mature to ignore that completely. But like, isn't that wild though? That people can just kind of do what they want now. They can just kind of identify or say or do what they want, and society is like either. I like to think people are just afraid of getting sued at this point.
Okay,
But
well,
like,
what happens if you in school you decide teacher asks you something and you decide that since you're a cat you can say roar or say meow?
yeah, it says that. It says that they can do nonverbal feline communication. Isn't that wild? Like they're allowed to do this. Like you can say you could like grandpa, like I'm serious. Like it's getting to the point where you can say you identify as a rock and people have to respect you as a rocker or whatever. I don't know how it works, but I don't even know. Like it can't be that easy. It can't be just you saying you identify as something and then you just get all the rights or privileges as that thing, because then that's gonna get out of hand. It already seems out of hand.
Yeah, so true.
I don't know. What do you think about that, Grandpa? You think it's a good thing or what?
Well, I don't have I won't say it's a good thing, but then again, I won't say it's bad. I'm going to be nothing biased. I'm just going to be on the sideline. I don't think it's a good thing or bad thing, but let's implore and find out
Oh, I think it's a bad thing. I think it's dumb. I think that you
what
should.
what the effects is.
No, I think it's pretty dumb. I don't think you should be able to just to say you are something and make other people have to play along with that. Like it seems absurd. Like if you want to think of yourself as that in your own little world, that's fine. But you shouldn't have other people shouldn't have to be
Well,
subjected to it.
if you decide that you wanted to be a cat in the realm, you could. The other people can also say, "Well, I'm not for cats," and they can just ignore you completely. How's that?
I guess, but what I'm saying is like there's got to be a limit. There's got to be some at some point where like this is nonsense. Like you can't do like you're in school. Like that's like you can't pretend you're a wild animal in class and meow when a teacher asks you a question.
Yes, that's true.
I don't know. It seems a little out there. It seems a little too out there for me.
Yeah. Well, the
I
teacher
think
can when you make that little noise, the teacher can say, ignore you and say, "There's an unruly cat in the room."
well, I guess my thing is how can a person identify as a cat and still be allowed to go to school if for my like I don't think you can just have pets or animals walking around schools. Like wouldn't that like logically to me, if you identify as a cat, you should be treated as a cat, and thus you shouldn't be allowed in the classroom
Yeah.
under normal circumstances. Like you don't just have like if I had cats growing up, I wasn't allowed to just bring cats with me to class.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in respect to being ignored. If you identify as a cat, they can close the door, keep the cats out.
Yeah, but then they'd be saying that's discrimination. That's what I'm thinking. Like people are afraid to get sued. That's why I actually think it's going on. No, you're like, I don't care. Like it's not my problem. I don't like cats. Like I think it's an overarching issue that's happening.
Yeah.
All right, what's your grab? What you got today? I mean, I'm dropping I think gems, and you're just like whatever.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? Ohio judge rules Walmart, CVS, and Walgreens must pay a combined $650 million for damages related to the opiate crisis.
Or in other words, they're making somebody accountable for all them drugs on the market,
In Ohio, yes.
in Ohio. But
Yeah. Huh?
what about this one where they suing who was that? Wait a minute now. Trying to get it right. Oh, the privatized jails
Yeah.
where the judge was putting people in jails, private jails, and getting a kickback on it.
Oh, we're gonna cover that. We're gonna cover that. That's on the list. That's on the list.
Yeah,
That's on the list.
if they were going to put the youth in jail, we might well make some money, We'll send them to our jail.
We're gonna cover that. Hold on, that's the next segment, Grandpa.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm saying like, so when I saw that, I was just like, okay, so when is the federal government gonna start paying out for the crack epidemic? Because they proved that they're behind that,
Yeah, yeah, that's sort of like
huh?
um, you open Pandora's box. Let's put it like that.
Well, yeah,
Everything coming out, the crack epidemic, the putting people in jail to make money off of them, send them to specific jails, privatizing and all that. I think they opened a box up there.
well, since you want to talk about it, what happened was Pennsylvania's Kids for Cash judges
Yeah,
orchestrated a scheme to send children to not to for-profit jails in exchange for kickbacks. Have been ordered to pay more than $200 million to people who fell victim to the whose people who fell victim.
right, right, right,
So I'm just like, how much? My first question was, how much in kickbacks were they really getting? Because like $200 million is a lot of money. Like they
right.
must have been sending hundreds of kids.
That's right. So it
And,
was an epidemic proportion. If they can
and
make money off of sending kids, but now was that just in the state of Pennsylvania?
yeah, it says Pennsylvania.
Then we got 49 other states. You didn't say about them. We know there's more than one privatized jail. People own their own jails. I think
I
here
don't
in
think
Michigan there's some
it. I
privatized.
don't think it. I don't think it should be privatized jails.
They shouldn't. They shouldn't. You commit a civil crime or a state offense, and they should have a state thing, not no privatized where a guy accuse you of committing a crime and just I'm gonna put you in my jail and make some money off of me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it incentivizes people to prosecute harder. It also incentivizes people to police people harder. Because I mean, if the judges are getting kickbacks and you know they've been doing it for a while, because it in my mind, it must have taken a while for the value of the crimes to reach $200 million.
Yeah, right, right.
So that means other people were a part of it.
Oh,
Some part
definitely, definitely so.
some part of law enforcement had to be a part of it. So I mean, I'd have to believe some of the police departments in the state of Pennsylvania were in on it and benefited from it somehow.
But even the police department,
Mhm.
they could accuse some kid of doing something, uh, put him on the arrest and everything, put him in a private prison and get a kickback on that. Well, say I sent 15 kids your way.
Yeah, exactly, and even more than that. I mean, just what is it? I think you can hold people for a certain amount of time before, like, you have to report them going to jail or something like that. Or
Yeah, right, right.
so, I mean, there's probably stuff loopholes with that where like you're not technically arrested, you're just being held or whatever.
Yeah. This is the system is corrupt to this extent. Even when you send a kid, if you send a kid to prison, to a privatized prison, possibly the only way that he went to a privatized prison in the first place that he didn't have no defense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm watching now the law, and there's so many loopholes in the law. You got things that say you're going to get 15 years for 10 years for this, and you wind up getting 3 weeks or a month in prison. Something wrong with the system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you send somebody else to prison for 15 years, and somebody else get 3 weeks for the same crime because he didn't have that lawyer you had.
Exactly. Like there should that also to me is pretty weird. How the discretion of the punishment is left up to the judge
To
for
the
the same
judge, yeah,
crimes. For the same crimes.
yeah.
Like, I don't know why there isn't like just a flat this is what's going to happen regardless type of situation.
Yeah. Well, this can be applied to me now. This can be applied to income tax too.
Say more.
Why
What do you
should
mean?
why should if you be a billionaire and there's a loophole for you to get out? You didn't pay no taxes because they said you did something for the community, so you don't owe no tax. That's a loophole for you. But you come along with me, and I'm making $15, and you take a couple of dollars for taxes.
Hmm.
Because there's no loophole for me to say I shouldn't be paying no taxes at all. I ain't making enough money to survive off them, you know.
Right.
I don't know. All I know is seems the fact this is somewhat of an unjust system, you know.
Well, definitely is unjust system. I mean, the fact that it's so arbitrary, like so many things are just kind of left up to interpretation.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you. Thank you. Left up to
Right.
interpretation.
All right. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I just don't. So many. What were you about to say, Grandpa?
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, I just I don't know what because when I actually brought these up a few days ago, and someone was talking about like those people are never gonna like for the situation with the judges where they pay the money to the victims. Like apparently, it's hard to collect on some of that stuff. Like even if you get sentenced to pay someone that you owe for whatever, it's hard to collect for whatever reason. Like it's like there's ways to protect your money and things like
Oh yeah,
that.
right. Yeah.
I mean, it's never simple. Like it's who knows if some or any or if all the people will be made whole from all this,
Mm.
or how long it'll take because it's apparently just it's not as cut and dry. Like it says that they're going to have to pay it, but how are they going to pay it? How long they got to take to pay it? Will they actually pay it off? Things like that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't say it's our system of governing, but I can say there's a sense of I don't know what evil or hatred, whatever it is that's looming over this country is so thick you could cut it with a knife, you know.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I mean, I've been feeling for the last 3 or 4 years, every day, something that's to me that was undesirable. You know, it keeps happening over and over and over again. You know, and I think it kind of builds up some kind of a mist that hangs over the country. You know, a continuous wrongfulness
Right.
keeps on going over and over and over again. And I think too that it affects the people in this country. It affects them pretty deeply too. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think the country we can't survive with conditions like this before we be at each other's throat day after day, month after month. Something got to give, you know. A guy say you got to show a little love in your heart. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know.
No, I agree with you. It's I think what you're describing is like the collective consciousness of humanity.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Put it into words. Exactly what I would like to say. A collective consciousness.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's some books that talk about metaphysics and like how the overall mental health of like the world is like kept kept in a positive state by just a few people because it's like a lot of negative thoughts and things are apparently very low energy. Yeah, I gotta find the book again, but it's like a lot of negative thoughts like sadness and anger and stuff are lower energy than thoughts of like love and you know goodwill towards your fellow man. And apparently, there's only like it's theorized based on this book. I wish I gotta look at my stacks again. Talking about if how certain groups of people who are just like pure paragons of peace and love are what's basically keeping the world from falling into like a huge pit of despair.
Mhm.
But I mean I don't I've seen it's supposed to be a scientific book, but I can't really test it myself because I don't I don't know how that will work. But it's interesting to think about
Yeah,
because because like there's and like a lot of different people's cultures, they talk about messiah figures that
Mm.
help people through or the community through a troubling time into a new age or whatever. So it's not unheard of. It just seems that in my mind it's something that's hard to quantify.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking in terms too of this energy. If you got negative energy and positive energy, energy is a force to move things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you got this negative energy and you're using it in a negative way, you may be causing rivers to overflow. I mean, that's that energy. You can direct that energy, that
Mm-hmm.
negative energy. You might have the rain, have a rain 7 days a week, not knowing that you're participating in it. Where if
What
you
do you
do it
mean?
in a positive manner, you may have some beautiful sunny days.
Mm-hmm.
Another what I'm trying to say, man has some control over some of the things that come upon him. 'Cause if you keep on producing that negative stuff, next thing you know, man, it might be a Noah's Ark.
I mean, it's interesting you bring up rain because I did read something that, or maybe I heard it in my memory, but it was saying basically scientists have confirmed that there's no more drinkable rainwater on Earth because everything's so polluted now.
Say that again.
There's no more drinkable rainwater on Earth. So if it's raining, it's not you can't drink it anymore, which is fine for us because we have a purified water system. But there's parts of the world where they rely on rainwater for drinking water.
I was under the impression though the rain water be filtered by the clouds.
No, some of the particles have gotten so small that when the water evaporates or sublimates or however it gets into the clouds for precipitation and all that
Yeah.
is so small that they get carried with the water molecules and they reform in the clouds and rain back down. Like the clouds themselves are toxic now.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't hear that. That sounds feasible.
That's the world we
I
live in.
know I've been well, you know yourself. For years, I've been kind of suspicious of drinking water because I don't drink. They say they got some mountain water, stream water, or stuff like that in the bottles.
Yeah.
The minerals. But all the water I ever buy, I always buy distilled water. I don't want nothing from the streams and the mountain. all that's polluted. I wanted this water to be distilled and take out all the minerals that's in there. Let me put in my body what I want in there as a mineral concern. Does that make any sense?
No, it makes sense. I mean, I don't know exactly how the process of purifying water works because I've never seen it done,
Yeah.
but I agree with you. Like but I mean, you can do that with anything though. Like everything we consume, unless we grew it ourselves, and even that now is getting questionable. You're taking a chance because you don't know how it's made.
Yeah. All right. Now, I don't even know. I'm assuming that they get out quite a bit of the minerals out of distilled water, but I don't know to what percentage they get out of that. By uh, distilling the water. But I think it's better than drinking the water. They say we got some good old mountain water from North Carolina. Came right out of the streams, rivers, or whatever.
All I know is I'm not I'm not drinking any sink water. It's got I gotta have a filter on it or something. I'm not drinking no pure sink water no more, man. Like
Yeah,
I don't trust it because like you never know when they're gonna report like, hey, we had a problem with the water filtration system. You never know.
that's
Like
right.
I need to filter. I gotta be able to filter it myself.
I had a filter on my refrigerator, and then I got a filter up under the sink on the tap.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that, because I honestly believe, man, the minerals that we are getting into our system ain't quite for us. and is getting much of those minerals and things out of the water as possible might be beneficial. You know.
So I'm just looking up like what minerals actually do for the body. So minerals help the body in various ways, including keeping your bone density, muscles, heart, and brain working properly. Minerals are important for making enzymes and hormones. So I don't. I mean, it's a chemical process, but that's interesting. Like I always hear the term vitamins and minerals, and I always thought that was I never understood why because like I get vitamins of like just you need stuff that's stored in your body. I didn't. I guess minerals help with the chemical process reactions. I think vitamins might too, but I no, I
Yeah,
think vitamins.
right.
But I think vitamins you need to have an active agent in order to absorb them properly.
And
Where minerals just cause the chemical reactions to do what they do.
yeah, I don't know. For years, and I can't say it does me any good or not. But for years, I've been injecting some stuff called power cell in the water,
What?
and it change. It's supposed 8 or 10 drops of water, maybe in a 16-ounce bottle. It's supposed to change the more, I guess,
Molecular?
molecular. Yeah, thank you.
What's this called?
It's called power cell.
Power cell. You put it in the water.
And yeah, I take my distilled water and I put about 8 or 10 drops in that water because what it by the molecular structure, it's supposed to allow for a lot of things in your body that you eat, vitamins and minerals or whatever, to get into the bloodstream rather
Mm-hmm.
than going into the waste system and out of the body. But some will help the food that gets into the waste system. But anyway, I can't even say it does any good. But I'm just saying I've been in the habit of doing it for what?
Where are you getting this thing called power cell, Grandpa?
Where I get it at?
Yeah.
Um, Health food store, Zerbos. It's online, and Amazon has it.
I'm trying to find it. You gotta show me. Can you got a bottle of it someplace?
I got some in my bag. Let's see. I might have some in up here. Let's me check and see.
You have to show me this because this I have to
Um,
make sure.
no, I don't see that. I got another.
Right back, folks. Grandpa's getting this power cell. Gotta see what this is about.
Uh,
So he's working out.
I
He's
can't.
working.
I can't find them. I know some downstairs.
Well, it's all right when I come over there to show it to me.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. It runs about. I don't know whether it's worth it or not, but I think it runs about $30-something a bottle.
That sounds
But anyway, I used it, and I can't point to no benefits
so you
except
just
except
you
I
just
done got old.
you didn't spend the money.
Yeah, yeah. Now the benefits might be that I, I've lived as long as I have.
Mm.
But I don't know.
I mean, I try supplements all the time, Grandpa. I gotta find the right mix to see if it'll make you do
Yeah,
what you need to. Like it's not a supplement, but I bought this new it's like armbands you wear across your biceps or whatever or your forearm. I don't know, and
yeah.
it helps stabilize you when you're like lifting weights.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, so like I saw some people using it. I'm like, all right, let me see how much it costs. It was like $15. So like I order it online, I get it, and I start using it, and I'm like, I'm skeptical. Like I'll try stuff, but I'm skeptical. So I go down to do my first rep for bench press, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, like it basically locks your arms in the position they're supposed to be, and it did what it's supposed to do. I'm not gonna lie, it works.
But it this what it's supposed to do. Now, what is it supposed to do?
It's just
Um,
supposed to stay. It's supposed to make sure your arms are in the position they're supposed to be. That's
oh,
it.
okay.
Well, I guess it helps you so like you can work out and do the proper form when you're lifting when you're like bench pressing whatever. And like I was just like this looks silly. Like at first I thought it was gonna be stupid, but like I
Yeah,
wanted to give it a try. But like no, this was for real. This is pretty serious.
yeah.
I already I already increased like my bench press by like 20 pounds.
You have?
Yeah, I've been using it for like the past couple weeks, and I'm like, oh, this is my because it takes a lot of pressure off you trying to work to be stable. It's just
Yeah.
you're just using your muscles that are supposed to be used to move the weight.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
What's
there's a lot of things. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example, and I'm quite sure you got some. If I'm not mistaken, you told me you got some veggie pills and fruit pills. You know what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah. I got multivitamins, but they're all plant based. Like they get all the vitamins and minerals from the plants they grow.
about? Yeah, but are you getting the one they advertise on TV like it says fruit
No,
and veggies?
no.
Oh, okay. I think they run about. You see the advertised all the time. They run about uh, $40 to $50 per 90 tablets.
Oh no, these cost me like $80.
Just for one, this is 80 $90, but part of it is vegetables and part of it is food.
Well, I mean, it could be the same concept. Like I get mine from Whole Foods. I mean, you can get them other places, but there's a Whole Foods down the street that sells it, so it's just convenient. But like, it's from what I understand, synthetic versus like natural vitamins, like
Yeah,
your body absorbs them more efficiently. So that's why I started getting this brand.
yeah. Plus the okay now, here's where to me where the power cell comes in. The
Hmm.
power cell makes the water you drink absorb the vitamins and minerals that's in the water more efficiently into the system.
Hmm.
In other words, you don't waste it. You get it into the blood rather than just use it and go out with waste.
Hmm.
So I don't know, but I'm always trying. But I noticed one thing too about the veggies and the fruits. I take
Hmm.
3 pills, and I do feel to me, and I could be so it could be all mental. I don't know, but I feel a little uplift in my energy level. By taking
Hmm.
them 3 plant-based pills. So I don't know, but
I can attest to. So I've tried all different types of multivitamin brands, and this one that I have, I definitely do feel like I feel more. I feel like it's working. I guess like my overall health, I feel better. Um, like I even if I don't want to, I have the energy to work out. You know, so I can do workouts. If I have to force myself doing it if I don't want to do it, I I haven't been so like I transitioned to using these vitamins over the past couple months, and I was having like a weird cough or whatever. But like after about a month or so of taking these, it's gone. Because I don't really take like I don't really don't take like Tylenol and stuff. Like I'm really big on like your body healing you. Like don't get me wrong, I go to the hospital if my legs broke,
right, right, right.
but like most of the time, and if it's like a cough or a sneeze or something, I'll just chill out, get some vitamin C, and let things work themselves out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You go to the hospital or a doctor when you see something beyond what you can handle.
Right.
If you say you're taking plant-based pills and things, and it's good and you're getting energy, but then you walk around like you said and break a leg, you don't want to take you want somebody to put that leg back in place.
Yeah, definitely. Like there's people who will take it to the extreme. Like I'm never going to the doctor. I'm like, no, I'm going to the doctor for certain things, but I think that your immediate reaction shouldn't be you catch a cold, I gotta go to the doctor. Like, no, I think unless you have like some autoimmune disease or something, I think you should just try to let your body work itself out.
Yeah. You know, we were talking about my eyesight, remember?
Yes,
And I told you I was blind, couldn't see out one eye, which I
I
couldn't.
remember that. I also remember telling you shouldn't drive when that
Yeah,
happens.
no, and I was driving, and I drive to the right of the road so that they got to be in front of me to see, And I don't want nobody to come up on the side of me because I ain't going to see them. But anyway, me and Hank went to see the ophthalmologist, and he explained to me what my problem was. And he took a laser, and it was some type of growth. There was a growth over there, which I didn't even know about.
Mm-hmm.
He took a laser in about, I mean, less than an hour's time. I could see better out of my right eye than I could out of my left eye, and I couldn't see nothing when I went in there. So what I'm trying to say is, uh, I've been taking these different eye pills and things, washing my eye out and taking the. I got 2 or 3 different things in here for the eye, which did no good.
Mm-hmm.
So that meant that's time to go to the doctor, right?
Yeah, like if you can't treat yourself at home and nothing is improving, you should definitely go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor, right? That's the next
Go to
step.
the doctor because like you done tried everything you can try. You
Yeah,
like
I was so happy. I guess the doctor said, "Well, he about to go." I said, thank you, doctor." I can see. Yeah, he was nice, very, very intelligent, sharp young man. Made me feel comfortable all the time.
Why? So what? Why was the? Did he tell you why the growth was there behind your eye?
Oh, I don't know. It might have something to do with age, with my age. See, I didn't even know about this growth behind that eyeball. I had the slightest idea about it. All I know is gradually I kept getting a little bit blurry out of one eye, to the place where I got where I couldn't see nothing out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me this. I gotta make another point. He told me this eye was getting a growth, but it was nothing like the right eye.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna go uh, and have him remove whatever he saw in my left eye. I think I'm gonna have him remove that too.
You should. I mean, if all it took was a little laser flash, go for it.
The thing about that too is I'm thinking now there's a lot of people my age that can't see, and they attributing it to old age.
Mm-hmm.
When there's actually a cure for it. I mean, it's laser surgery. Now I didn't had cataracts removed. I've had some little implants put in there.
Mm-hmm.
But this particular thing was I ain't never even heard of this growth that grows over the behind the eyeball. I don't know what how he explained it. All
Mm-hmm.
I know is that I can see clearly out of that eye that I couldn't see at all within an hour. So I'm thinking there might be a lot of senior citizens attributing not seeing to their age, being old. So hey, that goes along with age. No, man, it don't go along with age. It goes along with not knowing what what problem you got and what can be done about it. And age
Well,
ain't got nothing to do with it. Maybe age is the reason that it increases and grows and thickens, but the results was he cleared it up.
let me ask you, Grandpa. So, like, they're like starting to 3D print or whatever organs and stuff now. You gonna if say your kidney failed, would you allow the doctors to put a 3D printed kidney in you?
For the 3D kidney,
3D printed kidney, like they get your DNA or something and they make a kidney that's not going to be rejected by your body. Would you allow them to grow a kidney for you to replace the one that went bad?
yeah, I probably would. I ain't got much to lose no way, right?
That's yeah.
That's just like when they were talking about COVID-19. The only thing I know about COVID-19 was we had a million people died from COVID-19. And the only thing I can say is I'm taking the shot because I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm not in no reproductive stage or nothing. I ain't got no long period of time where it's going to affect me. My days is numbered. So yeah, give me a shot. I mean, think about it though. The odds are on my side, right?
I mean, you're
For a
right. I
young
mean,
man like you, it may be something to think about. But a man like me, if I died tomorrow, it wouldn't be make no difference whether I died from whatever. So, organ, you say that was a produced organ, yeah. But I'm finding out one thing too. I recall your dad had a couple of machines, that make things,
mm-hmm.
right? What you call them?
3D printer.
3D, right? And
Mm-hmm.
man, and they coming so close to making. Well, they make exactly what you want them to make. But I'm trying to say that is like I'm gonna put it in this respect. 50 years ago, 50, 50 years ago, a car with 200,000 miles on it was probably a junk pile, all wasting on the road and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we got cars, 200,000 miles, 300,000 miles, they'll roll without any problem. But I'm just saying that the technology has come to the point where the machine is doing the measuring. We ain't no the human element done taken out. The machine precision, everything to the perfection. And this is why come these cars look so good and stay so good so long, because they took out that human element of somebody being asleep and drinking some coffee and decide not to tighten this bolt or whatever. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean,
The
that's
human
also.
element taken out of it altogether, just about.
I think that can be dangerous because I mean, no, this different topic, but I mean, think about it. Like we're getting to an AI age where computers are thinking for themselves,
Right,
and
right.
and it's only logical to me that it's just a matter of time before they catch up and maybe get smarter than us. And
Well,
once something realizes it's serving something that's inferior to it,
it,
oftentimes it's time to replace them.
did you see 2002? What was the name of it?
What?
There was a movie called something 2002 or something
Oh,
like
I don't. Oh, I don't know.
that. Anyway, this space uh
Space Odyssey.
2002 space odyssey, it might have been, but anyway, the guy went out to inspect the spacecraft, right?
Yeah.
And the computer locked the door. The
Yeah,
robot.
that's a 2001 or 2000 Space Odyssey.
Yeah, that's okay. That's the one. That's what you're talking about. The robot said, "No, I don't need you." He said, "Cause you gonna make me obsolete. So I'll just get rid of you." But anyway, the guy got back into the spacecraft, and then the computer, the robot, want to apologize for doing. He didn't really mean it. I didn't really mean you were gonna put me in a junk pile. But that's getting to what you're saying. Where the robot goes smarter, getting smarter than the guy who and made him.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't even be that they're getting smarter. Is that we're giving them so much control of our society? Like you just said, like machines are building our cars and structures and stuff now. Like pretty soon, we'll be completely dependent,
Mm-hmm.
and that's dangerous for us because
Yeah,
you're making yourself obsolete.
yeah.
And that's just
Then
well, I was,
the robots and thing will have a slave market.
here we go again.
Transporting you back and forth across the Atlantic.
Oh no. But what was it? There's what I wanted to my follow up was for the grown kidney question would be, so you let them put a kidney in you that they grew. Would you eat grown meat?
Would I eat what now?
Like say they get a steak and like they 3D print a steak using protein cells or whatever and basically make a steak.
Make a steak?
Yeah, like I guess I'm asking, like, would you eat cloned meat?
Well, let's just put it like this: science has already hit up on all that different stuff. One of the things was, did you see Silent Green, Soylent Green,
So, maybe I'm. What is that?
where they were taking human beings, giving them a farewell, music, flowers, everything. But the human beings getting ready to go into the meat grinder.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
They were canning it. So Soylent Green was this is what wound up. The guy wanted to find out what they was doing in the factory, find out taking people and killing them, putting them in and canning them, and they was eating them. That's similar to what you just said now.
Well, no, no, I'm talking about like they're taking animal proteins or whatever.
Protein, human protein. All the thing I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're talking about killing people. I'm talking about like they take like cow DNA, they get some stuff to like make copies of it or whatever, and they then shape it into the shape of like steaks and stuff. Like, would you eat clone meat?
Well, I don't know whether I would or not. Right now, no, I wouldn't.
I mean, you probably have. Like, you
Well,
know that kind of stuff don't.
that's what I'm saying because I don't know enough about it. But you bring that, suggest that to me, and I said no. Well, no, I ain't going that route.
So like so as long as you're unaware of it, it doesn't bother you. But if you went to a restaurant and they're like, yeah, we got this clone cow steak, you like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I can
Okay,
see it.
let me put it in this manner.
Oh, I wouldn't do it either. I'm just asking
No,
you,
no, no. I'm just gonna say this about
not
cloning.
knowingly at least.
How do we know the people who are active in destructive measures doing things? How do we know they ain't clones? They're
We
doing
don't know.
something. They're doing things beyond what the ordinary human would do. But maybe they don't have a soul and they clone and they just go on and do what they feel is right. In other words,
We
I'm
don't
saying
know.
these are people out there that's cloned,
We don't know.
and we won't and you won't know he cloned, but he'll be doing some stupid stuff, some things that you would never even dream of doing. He does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But
No, I
we
mean that's a valid thought. I mean, I think it just could be simpler than that. People just do what they're going to do when they have power. Like I don't know what they say. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, people they always find out people who in power got some weirdo stuff going on. So it could just be them. What was that lady in the news? Like she was a representative or something. This was just happened like a week or so ago. She was talking about like she was going against solar power, right? She was like, well, I don't want solar power because when the sun goes down, won't nothing work.
See,
And I'm like, I'm pretty
you
sure it's
never thought about storing that power, right?
yeah. I mean, like if you
Power,
really knew what's
you can store power just like anything.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like it was just funny because I'm like, I'm sure there's tons of people who don't research any of this stuff
Yeah.
or who don't even like you can Google how solar power works now. You don't even have to understand it really, but like it'll tell you basically what it does and like how to store it. But people are just like, face value. They're so stuck to like their political party, they're willing to believe anything certain people say just because they're lazy.
Yeah.
Or if they're not lazy, it's worse. They're just blindly loyal.
I know the technology can be helpful. It can be harmful. But I'm living in a generation where you can accept it, but I got to remember when, because I'm going way back.
Mm-hmm.
But I just looking at my tree. It was last year, and I had one of my arborvitae's was dying.
Mm-hmm.
So I get on the laptop there and I Google it, and they tell me to get some stuff, that this guy's selling in California that works. I I want to stop destruction of the tree, so I buy me some. But sure enough, he saved my arborvitae. It was really dying, but I poured that stuff on it around the ground. And but what I'm trying to say is, we have within our within the reach of man the ability to do a whole lot of things that you couldn't do 100 years ago. You know,
Mm-hmm.
years. Just about anything you want to know. And it ain't no thing when they research it, you get some instant information.
Yes. I think I used to think it would be like, oh, that's convenient. I don't have to know stuff. I don't remember things, but I think it's scary. I think it's scary the notion having to rely so much on technology that you forget how to think or remember stuff on your own.
Yeah, yeah, I found that out that I was at an elementary school and they were talking about it used to be a standard of multiplication would go 12 times 12, 144, and then back down.
Mm-hmm.
But then they cut out the 12 and they said, well, we're going to take 12 times 11, instead of 12 times 12. I said, well, why that? And the response was, we got computers to do it. But to me, suppose all the computers get destroyed and you can't do nothing without it, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you gotta be able to do something.
Yeah. But anyway, that's where we seem to be headed, where you don't need to know the math. The computer do the math for you.
Right.
You can get into the higher mathematics, you can get into calculus and all that stuff, but you don't have to do the problem. The computer will do the calculus problem, but you just give it the information and it comes up with the answer.
Right. I mean that, and that's helpful. Like if you're
It's helpful. I mean, it's
it's
very
helpful.
much helpful. But the thing about it is,
there's some day-to-day basic stuff that you should know how to do that you shouldn't have to.
call on no Google to do it, right?
Oh, because like eventually it's going to be the point where you stop just remembering things entirely, and you just over here are nothing useful because you haven't learned nothing.
Right, right, right.
You never experienced it. You just read about it.
Okay, now we know that Earth has been around for hundreds of millions of years, right? I don't know,
Millions.
billions of years. Okay, but we also know that man has been around about maybe 200 or 300,000 years than man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do we think that we the only ones that was able to get to this progress to learn this different stuff? Or the
Some
man
people.
gets so smart that he destroyed himself over and over and over again? He
It's
keep on doing
possible.
something and he destroys himself and you start scratch again, with no technology, no nothing. So you go for the animal game, the fittest, the survival of the fittest. I see a bear, I kill him and eat him, or he gonna kill me and eat me.
Yeah. I mean, everything is cyclical. I mean, eventually, if our society doesn't destroy itself, our star Earth, I mean, sun is going to explode, or even before it gets to that point, the radiation will be too much for our planet, or the heat
Then we
will.
have to find us another planet, right?
Well, we
And
should definitely be.
we got people definitely exploring other planets because they know where we headed. You know, we might destroy Earth with this nuclear stuff, and the next thing we know, we ain't got nowhere to live. With a few people escape with the technology, and they can start over. They ain't got to go all the way back to scratching again.
All right.
But they carry enough technology with them that they can rebuild another another Earth or another planet. For
Mm-hmm.
man to survive on.
Well, no, I agree. Listen, I just checked the time, Graf. We got to do our final thoughts. It's been an hour. I gotta get back to
Oh
work.
no, yeah, it's over 4 o'clock. Okay, my time of thoughts is let's do it again. In fact, let's name next week.
Name next week what?
Let's do it again. What
Oh,
did I say the date was?
what we call this today? Power outage.
Huh?
I called it power outage.
No, but I said, he said, what was the name of the thing? And I said, what we gonna talk about? And I said everything.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying, let's do it again.
Do it again.
No
That's
problem.
good. I like that final thought. I'll piggyback off it.
Okay.
Well, this was a classic episode. The original cast members, just me and Grandpa.
Yeah.
This was episode. Well, let me see. Let me sign off. How do I do this? I gotta remember exactly what episode we on. This is episode 154 of the Untitled Beer Ranking Show. We're signing off. See you next week, Grandpa.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too.
Yes.